What's going on, everybody? This is Peter Renna back with another edition of Dollar Bin Digging. This week I have it for comicbookinvest.com. This is my little video I like to do before writing the article and pick books I want to cover. Some of the books that I've actually picked up this week, I actually got in a good bit of digging done today. I got a few over the weekend. I'll start off, I think, with those books first, and those were $1 a piece, but the rest I actually got for 50 cents. So Dollar Bin Digging or less is really the topic, I guess, of the day. And I did actually film, if you checked out my YouTube channel, I did film Usual Suspects, a special little Suicide Squad 2 thing that I was trying out. I'm going to try to finish up the accompanying article for that this week. Hopefully I have enough time to finish it, but time's getting kind of tight, but hopefully I can get that out by this weekend. But again, you're here for the dollar bins, so I'm going to give you my dollar bin digging picks for the week. First up, again, this is a book that I did grab for $1. A friend of mine actually at the flea market on Sunday, he bought a decent lot of boxes, maybe 1,000 books. It was a couple long boxes, a bunch of short boxes out of the back of a guy's truck. I flipped through them with him, and it's like, it was a lot of DC Rebirth type stuff, a lot of filler books, but there was a few minor little things in there. He got a decent little Adam Hughes Catwoman run. The big ones weren't in there, but the rest of the run is still some gorgeous covers from those Adam Hughes covers. So I'm sure he was happy to keep those. But I did grab these other books. I tried to tell him to pull them, and he could probably sell them separately, but he had no interest in it, so I bought them off for $1. So these are the books that I grabbed. The first one being this Justice Society 3. This is just an awesome Alex Ross cover for Cyclone. We know she's going to be in the Black Adam movie, watching the DC Fandome event this past weekend. So I think her character could possibly be well received. Her first appearance is in issue 1, just a couple of issues earlier than that. So that's a book to keep an eye out for. I actually did buy one of those at my LCS for like $6, I think it was. It was in a back issue bin. So there's still some cheap copies of that out there. So you might want to look to maybe grab yourself one of those, because there's a few first appearances in there, and it's basically the start of a new generation and a new team of heroes that we could be seeing, coming out of that Black Adam movie. And this being one of the first characters. So again, this entire run of Alex Ross covers that are at the start of this series, as well as the end of the previous Justice Society series, were just gorgeous. The black covers with the character portraits, basically, just gorgeous work. So I'd recommend getting into the characters you like. There's a Stargirl one that's not bad, but I don't know. I think this Cyclone one's worth picking up. Another book that I wrote about recently in my 100th edition of Dollar Bin Digging, I found an Azrael 100. I think it's the second one I found in the last few weeks, but yeah, I just grabbed it. Last issue still commanded a little bit of a premium, just something to hang on to. You never know. Valiant, I keep hearing that Valiant's not giving up. They're going to keep moving forward, so you never know. We might see something coming out of there for Punk Mambo, and I did find this first appearance in this Shadow Man 13. There's some incentive variants that are harder to find, that are more desired, but I won't say no to the regular edition if I could find it. Actually, this might be a B cover, actually, looking at the barcode. I'll have to double check it, but I'll put in a couple of the extra covers so you know what to look for as far as that goes. That's a possibility. Maybe I'll cover that one this week. I also won't say no to random Clone Wars issues. I mean, we all know issue 1, first Ahsoka Tano, but this issue 5 just randomly in there. I'll pay $1 for it, because, you never know. Maybe I can build an extra set at some point if I get lucky, but I'm not leaving it behind for $1. So that was just a random Star Wars pickup. And then the rest that I grabbed off of out of his boxes, I think I grabbed like 10 books, so it's like $10 were I've written about these before on Dollar Bin Digging, and these are the Art Germ Birds of Prey covers. This is a great cover run. I would recommend grabbing it if you see them. It's just good stuff. Number 6, love this Batman for number 7. And you got this whole little team up. Number 8. Then 9, 10, and I'm a big fan of number 11 again. I know I put this one in an early Dollar Bin Digging because it's just gorgeous Catman and Huntress cover. I'm a big Art Germ guy too, so I like his work, so I grab it where I can find it. And again, worth $1. But I wrote about those already, so I'll put those in the done pile. So those were my Dollar Bin pickups from Sunday. The rest of what I have here to show you were all stuff that I picked up at a store that's moving. It's kind of near me. They're moving locations, so they're trying to clear out a lot of their Dollar Bin stuff. So right now all their stuff is 50 cents. So I grabbed a bunch of stuff for 50 cents here. And yeah, so without further ado, this first one, I grabbed it because I actually mentioned it in my Usual Suspects video that I wrote, and it will be in my article. And this is like Suicide Squad 24. I believe this is the first like reintroduction of a different looking. So there was that. We have first Nuke here in Daredevil. Which one's 232? The Born Again. Or actually, no, this is God and Country. But this run, you know, with Frank Miller was just great stuff. And I believe this is first. Yeah, there you go. You got Nuke right there. And he was on the Disney, not Disney, the Netflix series. But they handle him a little bit different. But I don't know, he's still an interesting character. It's first appearance, so I'm not leaving that behind for 50 cents. This book was just randomly, I remember heated up a while back just because it has that black version of Silver Surfer. It's not the same Silver Surfer black character. It's completely different. I did, collect and read this entire Silver Surfer run originally back in the day. So it's not the same character, but people like to just, try to connect dots and be like, oh, Silver Surfer, it's a black Silver Surfer, so I better buy it. But I still liked it, so for 50 cents, I grabbed it too. Here's another one, 69. This is just the first appearance of Morg, who is another Herald of Galactus. You see him here in the back. I might have written about this book already. I feel like I have, or at least I've mentioned it before. Because again, Galactus has had many heralds, and their first appearances usually are sought after, just because people like to have everything from the Frankie Ray Nova to Terrax to everybody who's been Galactus's herald. Yeah, so I grabbed it. Another book that I have mentioned before, and I keep seeming to be able to find it for cheap, is this Oriental Heroes 55, this Jade Man book. And this book sells, I don't know, every time I find one, I sell it. And I sell it for a good amount. Just throwing that out there. So this one will probably be going up to just to, pay for this a lot of books that I just bought. But I've already written about this. But again, keep an eye out for these Jade Man books, because they're not easy to find. And if you do happen to find them and find a little run of them, it's usually, again, the last few issues of a series are the ones that people are looking for. I think they're lower printed. They're typically harder to find, but those are the ones that seem to be grabbing the most prices. So that's why I found this 52, which is near the end. So I grabbed that one too. And this Blood Sword 51 I grabbed. It's a different run, a different series, but it's also near the end. So for 50 cents, I was taking a chance and see if that's something that could be flippable, for me. Now, up next, I believe I brought this book up on 3 Comic Monty for our vampire episode. I know I'm going to butcher her name, but Takeda, to Des Monstrous, did this cover run on, or I think she did the series on Drain, and this is just one of my favorites. I just dig it with the samurai sword and the vampire. It's gorgeous. So again, for $1, I was grabbing that all day. Also happy to find these early Adam Hughes on Maze Agency. Now there's I think a mini series or a couple, like issues 1 through 3, that are kind of sought after. I think actually issue 3, Hughes cover, is sought after. This is a different run of it. I think issue 6. But so just early Hughes work, and here's issue 10. And again, for 50 cents, I'm grabbing it because I don't have them, and I'm a big Hughes fan, so I'm just adding those to my pile. I don't think those actually sell for all that much. I mean, it's early work. It's not first of anything, but it's good to have. Again, 50 cents. Another oddball find. I think I must have found the other issues at this shop before, because I just happened to find issue 4 of Hungry Ghost. So now I have that complete storyline, I believe, now, because I had issue 1 separately, and then I found 2 and 3, and now I have 4 of 4. This is that Anthony Bourdain series. Interesting little book. It generated a little bit of heat with his passing, but I don't know. This is something I've been looking for just to complete the series, and I think it sells for a little bit online, but I just was happy to find it for 50 cents and complete my run. Just randomly found these in the box, so I grabbed these as Southern Bastards. I mean, who knows if we'll get anything out of this? It's Jason Aaron storyline. It seems like it would be something that would be easily adapted. So I grabbed 2 copies, issue 1. This first one has a little bit of a little wrinkling on here on the cover, but the second copy looks pretty good. And then issue 2, just because they were there. So again, 50 cents. I mean, why not? Following that, I know there are tons of these out there, but this X-Force 2, anytime I find a copy that's relatively clean and newsstand kind of helps, I'm just 50 cents. I'm grabbing it because you can usually flip this pretty easily, pretty quickly, because it is the second Deadpool. It is a cover. It's, again, there's tons and tons of copies of this out there, but it's generally something that you could just easily flip. As long as the copy is, like I said, it's a clean copy and it doesn't have too many dings or dents, you could usually get a couple of bucks for it. So for 50 cents, I was just grabbing it. Throw it in the pile. Same thing with this issue 15, another early Deadpool. You can usually move for a little bit. I'll probably put those together, maybe. Up next, I got a book that was I believe came up on one of our recent 3 Comic Money episodes for our influential artists. I think John Boy Myers pointed this book out, and I realized I didn't actually have this one when I was looking in my filing cabinet for my classic X-Men runs, but this is just issue 1 of classic X-Men, which is just awesome. Art Adams, just great cover, and again, 50 cents. I was picking it up, put that in the pile. Kind of dig it. Then just out of, again, I know I've mentioned it before. I have, I don't want to say habits, tendencies, ticks sometimes when I'm out there collecting. And usually if I find clean copies of Jim Lee's Uncanny Run, I go and I grab them just because I love this run. This was the run that really sucked me in. This and Silver Surfer really sucked me into collecting comics. So 269, and I remember chasing this Extinction Agenda crossover with X Factor and New Mutants back in the day. So grabbing these again for 50 cents, I'm doing it every time. Again, it's, most of the copies you find in the boxes that were kind of chewed up, they're wrinkled, they're bent, the covers are falling off or detached, they were jammed in boxes and water damaged, and just generally not good copies. But anytime I find good copies, there's 275, which I think I brought this one up before. Just love this stuff. So again, I have multiple copies, but I just keep buying them, keep adding them, because I just can't help it. And again, what would it cost me? A couple of bucks. It's not going to break my back here, but couldn't say no. Again, at that price, I couldn't leave them behind. Now, along with that, this is another one you find all the time. It's when Portacio took over after Jim Lee. So you got the 281. There's a lot of copies of that out there, but this kind of came out at the same time as X-Men 1. This is when they split the teams. You had the blue team and the gold team. So this was also an issue that was right in that time frame that I really remember falling in love with. Same with Bishop. So I did find Bishop first appearances on a newsstand here for 282 and 283. 283 is really his first full, because while him and his team here are on the cover, they're really just a last page splash cameo on this one. So 283 is really the first full, but put them together, you got the Bishop's first appearance. So again, $1 for the pair. I'm buying them. I'll put those aside. I don't think that's anything I need to cover in the article. Just like Omega Red. Still speculation going for Omega Red, so who knows if we see him. He is a good villain. He's a good villain that would, I think, do well adapted on screen. But yeah, if you can find his first appearance for cheap, I recommend grabbing it. So like I did, 50 cents, buying it. I believe I've talked about this one before, but if not, I'm going to put this in my maybe pile. There's a couple of covers in this Conan the Barbarian series where you got some big artists. There's Tom McFarlane, that's not bad. Portacio did one. And Jim Lee, I think, did a couple. And this is one that I really dig. This Jim Lee with Red Sonja there, crossing swords. It's a pretty awesome cover. So, again, 50 cents. I'm not leaving this one behind. So I'll put this in my maybe pile and see if I've talked about it or covered it, because it seems like I might have. I feel like I have. Up next, I found these Warlord of Mars Perillo covers. These aren't the really desired ones, but I still like his art, and I'm going to grab any of his books for cheap. That was, 6? All right, these aren't in order. There's issue 5, and, backwards, and issue 3. Because Perillo, gorgeous paintings. I love his art. Check out this week's cover tunes. I think Mike Morello had a a decent selection, I should say it humbly, for some awesome Perillo Red Sonja books, and I think there was a Vampirella in there too. So go check that out over on comicbookinvest.com. But yeah, so Perillo books, I will grab them when I find them. I next found a little batch of McFarlane books, tucked away in there. You occasionally find these in the cheap bins, and again, just like those Jim Lees, they're usually torn up and beat up, but these ones seemed okay, so I just grabbed them. First is 301, but this is the ToyBiz insert one, so it's not the regular edition. This is the one that came with the red suit Spider-Man there, figure-wise. But these ToyBiz reprints are generally collectible, especially if you find them in good shape. This one's not too bad. It's pretty clean. There's no dirt and grime really on here. No real tick. There's one tick, but it's a generally nice copy. So I'm going to put this in my maybe pile. It's still a couple of bucks. They'll still go for. And then I found a 320 and a 321. Again, these are just McFarlane Spidey covers. I remember always liking this one where he's hanging upside down and trying to draw it myself as a kid. And then lastly, I also do really like this lizard cover here on, is this 313, I think? Yeah, 313. So this is another good McFarlane. And again, for 50 cents, I'm not leaving this behind. So again, if they're clean copies, I'm grabbing them. If they're beat, I'm not going to grab some crusty, moldy, smelly, musty, water-damaged book to go and infect the rest of my collection. But if they're clean copies, again, I just have a hard time leaving them behind. Even though I should leave them for somebody else to enjoy, I guess I'm selfish. So I grab them and add them to my own pile. This one was just an oddball thing because I had not seen it. I didn't know what it was. Looking it up, I think it came with an action figure. This is the Hasbro exclusive cover, Combiner Wars Transformers. I think it was, came with a Sunstreaker action figure. I think that's how you got a hold of these, but this IDW book, I don't know, it caught my eye because it didn't look like a regular issue. There's no number and whatnot. So for 50 cents, I was just grabbing it to see what it was. You know what? I'll put this in my pile because even though I quickly looked it up, I still don't know what that book does. And then, of course, I'm going to wrap up with some Star Wars books because I did find a little batch of Star Wars that I thought were worth grabbing. First up was this Star Wars Republic 60. This one just caught my eye because of the cover, and then I saw who it was, Asajj Ventress. And this book actually does pretty well on the secondary market. I'm glad I found it for 50 cents. And I just want to read it because I don't believe I have this one. I don't have a lot of this Republic run from Star Wars. I've been adding a lot of these Dark Horse Star Wars books for cheap the last few months because it's great stuff. And I eventually got to sit down and try to read it all. Once I fill all the holes in my runs, I'm going to sit down and read them all. I'm missing one Knights of the Old Republic that I got to. Actually, I did order one, but it got bent up in the mail, so I actually had to return it. I don't like returning things when you buy on eBay, but when things just really get destroyed, I just couldn't keep it at the price I paid. I wasn't keeping a destroyed book. So the seller thankfully accepted a return, and it's on its way back. But now that's another book that I have to go and rebuy to finish that Knights of the Old Republic run. Yeah, but these are the things you got to do sometimes. But again, this issue 60 is a pretty cool cover. I believe it tells her origin, and it's one worth grabbing if you find it, especially for cheap. Then here's a couple of more. I got this Star Wars Tales 18. Again, 50 cents. I'm not leaving it behind. Pretty cool Boba Fett cover. I think the other version of this is the photo cover, and I think I already have that one. But now I have the art version, which I think is the A, and I think the photo covers are the B's. I'll have to double check it, but I'll give you an image of both. But the Star Wars Tales 18 is worth grabbing if you find it out there. I mean, most of the Star Wars tales are worth grabbing just because, apart from them being a very thick book that you're getting more bang for your buck, quite literally, there's a lot of first appearances and good stories in them. So there's stuff that could be mined in the future. These are things that could heat up down the line because it's almost like an anthology kind of like book. So I don't know, something to keep an eye on. And then the last two books I got here are just some pretty cool Adam Hughes Star Wars covers. So I saw the Boba Fett Overkill, which I know does okay. I'll put this in the maybe pile, as well as the Purge one shot as well with Vader. Great Hughes covers. 50 cents. I'm not leaving that kind of stuff behind. So that's not all the books I grabbed. I grabbed a few other things, but not everything was worth showing. I think I grabbed what was it? 60. I think I grabbed 60 books for 50 cents each. So I had 30 bucks, and I grabbed 2 trades for $5 each. I grabbed a Cage, that Richard Corbin Cage hardcover for $5, and then there was a Carnage USA trade in there for $5. I was just taking a gamble on both, thinking, hey, these might actually be something I could flip if I need to, because I think I have the Cage already, and the Carnage USA, I think I got the floppies, but yeah, if they don't do well on, because again, trades are something to keep an eye on. I don't know much about trades and the back issue markets on trades, but I know certain ones are sought after. So sometimes you just take a flyer, and at worst, I spent $5 on something that I kind of want to read anyway. So $5 is not a big investment for a few books that are collected in a nice little volume, all in one place, easy reading. But anyway, that's all I got. Oh no. And look behind me, I have one more. This random American Entertainment exclusive Star Wars Zero. This just caught my eye because it was, oddly sized, and it was a Zero. Star Wars did not look familiar to me. Looks like this is a Brian Steele Freeze cover. That's pretty cool. That's my last issue of Dollar Bin Digging. So, I don't know if that does anything, but I'll put it over here for now. So thanks for, checking out the video. Hopefully you read the article tomorrow on accompanying. Check out my YouTube channel, as well as the stuff I'm doing with my buddies over at Tales from the Flip Side. We got a lot of cool content every day. There's something new dropping. Later today, I'll be doing the theme Hot 5 with Mike Morello, and I think we're going over some of the DC Fandome books, more DC Fandome. I like Fandome. The event was pretty cool. I like the stuff they were showing off. So apart from some of the lists we have coming, and again, I did that Suicide Squad 2 Usual Suspects list video already. I'm going to have the article dropping as well. It was a great event, and it got my interest reignited for DC, because admittedly, even I know somebody called me out in my last Dollar Bin video about nobody's talking about DC. I was like, well, I wasn't talking about it because I honestly didn't care much about what they've been doing, but this has kind of sparked my interest again in DC, at least on the movie and film side. So we'll see what they're doing. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. So again, be safe out there. Try to keep collecting fun. Don't take any of this stuff too seriously. Just be careful with your money. Just buy the stuff you want. And I'll see you guys next time.